conference. We're gonna. Hello. Cool. So can you please come closer? Come closer. Don't sit in the back. Before I start introducing myself and tell you what we're going to do here, I have a question, which I'm going to ask for some of you. Later on, we'll tell you why we're asking this question. Can I know, please, when was your first kiss and how was it?
When? I was 15. It was good, I don't know.
Okay.
What is the question again?
When was your first kiss and how was it?
When I was 17. It was not so good.
When I was 13 and it was pretty bad.
Okay, let's find somebody. Excuse me. Hi.
Hi. When I was 18, it was nice.
See, it was nice. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Tariq. I'm here to have a workshop with you. We're going to have some fun. I'm not going to teach you anything. All what I'm doing now is I'm going to try to point out some things that we face every day and we work with every day just to put them in front of us more to be able to use them in our everyday and in our work, especially when we work in the media. Okay? So the first thing is we're going to talk about, in this workshop, we're going to talk about creativity and the definition of creativity. We're going to talk about how to deal with it and how do we set it free. Okay? I still want to tell you why I asked you this question and how to think in a different way. So a lot of us, we think every day in a specific way. We want to change this way of thinking. We want to think in a totally different way and train our brain to start thinking this way. All right? We're going to talk about what's an argument and what are the alternatives of an argument. And we're going to learn some easy tools to use while we are creating some stuff. This was supposed to be a 4-hour workshop, but we're doing it in 2 hours. It's going to be a bit intensive. As I said, you're not going to be learning anything. You're just going to remember some stuff that you use. I need to ask a question here. When was your first kiss?
Pardon?
Your first kiss, when was it?
It's 1993.
Okay. And how was it? How was it?
It's okay.
Okay. So, we have 2 people who had a good experience in having their first kiss. The reason why I'm asking you is because you're too serious. Okay? We want to have fun here. We want to play, we want to think, we want to just move forward. Okay? Please, when you leave, it would be great if you deposit your business card because I need to send you some links and a couple of emails. So, what is creativity? Do we know what is creativity? Does anybody know? Nobody knows what's creativity. Oh my God. Okay.
The ability to generate new ideas, not necessarily implemented, but just generating ideas, new ideas.
Okay. What else? Yes?
Innovation, to be innovative, try new ideas, lateral thinking, outside the box.
That's so true as well. Mr. Benjamin?
I would say that in a natural state, we're very closed off with our hearts, and that creativity forces us to open up.
Okay, that's excellent. Well, I think as well, all of this is valid, but I think creativity is, first of all, a survival tool. We need creativity to survive, to go on, to continue our life. Okay? So, for example, toilet papers. We need to be creative in this to be able to sell it more. So what is the difference between one company and another? Is the color, the texture, everything. So everything has to be creative to be able to continue. If a company starts and they go on doing the same thing, one day they won't be able to continue. Okay? So basically it's a survival tool. And this is going to help everybody to change and to move forward. Is creativity original? It's called creativity. Is it original? Is it? Okay, who thinks creativity is original? Okay. It comes from nothing. We create something out of nothing.
It could be a mix of existing things to produce something in existence. So mixing two existing things or more.
Okay. So creativity is mixing some two elements, two ingredients probably. Okay. So I don't know if we agree creativity is something that is inspired by something else. Okay? So nobody comes up with something out of nothing. He's always inspired by something to create something else. Okay? Like Michelangelo, one time he said, I saw the angel in the marble, and all what I did is carve the angel out. So he just sees things, he's inspired by something, and he creates. Okay, so if we agree on those two things, that creativity is inspired, and creativity is a survival tool, the question is, how creative are we? And is there somebody more creative than the other person? Who is more creative than who? Sometimes we talk and we meet people, oh, he's very creative. I don't have creativity at all. Is that true? Do you think some people don't have the creativity? Well, maybe. Well, there's a reason for that, okay? The creativity is, there's a suppression for creativity. And the reason is 2 or 3 or more, okay? Do you know what suppresses our creativity? I wish we had students here as well. Sorry?
Prejudices.
Exactly, that's one, which is the social life around us. What would people think about us if we create something? What else suppresses creativity?
Courage.
Okay, and somebody said something else here?
Judgment.
Yes. Boredom kills creativity. Also, that's very valid. See, I'm not teaching anything. You're just saying it, okay? So, yes, a lot of factors, they suppress creativity, okay? I think the factor number 1, when we're born and we grow up, is education. So this is why I wish we had students here, because they'd be very happy. Yeah, education, we don't want to study anymore. Okay, education suppresses creativity because when we go for an exam, they expect us to write whatever they want, the right answer, without thinking about it. We go, we study, we memorize, and we go and we write. So people grow up having their creativity killed. It's not getting bigger or getting stronger with time, okay? So creativity is suppressed by social life, by judgment, by boredom, by many different factors, okay? So this is why sometimes we feel more creative than other times. Sometimes we're thinking and thinking and thinking about something and it doesn't work. We cannot come up with an idea, a good idea. And sometimes the idea pops out and we're happy and we think like we're very productive. Okay? This is also very important because we have to be in a good mood. We have to not care about what people think. All right? So we can be also caught at the wrong moment, like as Mr. Yusuf said, like we can be bored. That's very important. Okay, and social life as well, prejudice and all that. So the target here is to, in this workshop, is to try to free the creativity. I'm not going to free the creativity. I'm going to discuss with you how to think in a way that would help us free our creativity whenever we need it, and how to train it. It's just like going to the gym and training your muscles. You train your brains. Okay? So creativity is very important to survive. It's suppressed by social life and by boredom and by prejudice and all that. And we will be doing a couple of exercises to free up this creativity. Okay? Let's see the hats that you're wearing. Everybody has a hat, or did you pick up your hats? Okay. Can you put the hats on? All right, I see a lot of green here, like 3 green, 2 green. I see 3 red. Please, whoever, yeah, go on. Choose a color. Choose a color. Don't look at the design. It's just, it's very symbolic. We ready? Some people disappeared. Oh, I'm very interesting to me. Okay, so everybody's wearing a hat. This is great. You're not wearing a hat there. No more hats? Can you please choose a hat? No? Okay. No? Oh, okay, fine. You can wear a hat for 15 minutes. Another thing that we need to talk about is a probability. Do you know what's a probability? Okay. A probability is a problem, but we don't want to be judgmental when we say a problem. We have a problem that we need to solve. Already it's a problem, saying we have a problem. Okay? So we call it a probability, which is a problem out of which we can create an opportunity to develop it. Okay? So we're going to talk about the probability. Can somebody give me an example? Anything? Hello? Anything about probability? No. So everything around us is invented out of a problem, out of a need, we say. Yeah, that's the creative thing. Okay, great. What we're going to talk about now is how to approach a probability. A probability is a challenge. It's something that we need to work on and see if we can make it better. Okay? The hats that you're wearing, what do you think of them? Well, we try to have some Turkish Ottoman stuff like the tarbush, or not yours, not the green ones. Okay, so the hats, each hat represents something. Okay? Do you know what hats represent? The colors.
They all have psychological meanings, like red is, it's excitement. They all refers to emotions. They all have psychological meanings, like the silver, it refers to balance. Green.
We'll call it white.
White, it's the only color actually, but what we're choosing is what we want to see.
Okay, cool. So every hat represents a way of thinking. Okay? Every color represents a way of thinking. When we approach a problem, opportunity, Okay? We need to approach it in a specific way, and we need to talk about it in a specific way. The red hat, for a start, the lady over here, she said it's about emotions. We always think like red, it's heart, it's love, it's Valentine's, it's emotions, it's feelings, okay? So when we create a format, we need to approach it from different ways. I'm going to apply this to the format. Usually, this way of thinking and this brainstorming tool called the 6 hats applies to everything. But we are using it here because we work in the media, we work in the field. So the red hat represents what we feel. The green hat, what do you know?
Dollars.
Nature or the nature of things, or I don't know.
Okay. It can be that, but also the green is greenery, is something new, something really being born again. It's something being created. So the green is the creative way of thinking. Okay? That's the second element that we need to add to something when we create it. So when we create a format, for example, we go like, we want to see how much this format touches the heart of people. So you can be wearing in one brainstorming session different hats, but all of us need to wear one hat at a time. So if I want to talk about the feelings, I would say let's have some red hat thinking. Okay? So we think about the red hat, and we decide that now we're going to use the red hat thinking and see how do we affect the viewers. How can we make them feel and love and feel attracted to the show, cry, laugh, all of this. The green one is about creativity, how creative we are, how much innovative we can be, all of the creative factors that gets in the show. Okay? Nobody's wearing a black hat except Mr. Ben here. What do you think about the black hat? Technology. Black hat? It's black. It's too dark. We don't like it. Black? Anybody? Oh, you gave her your black hat. You don't want it, huh? Okay. The black hat is being careful, being not negative, but thinking about the disadvantages. What if we have this problem? What if we face this situation? Okay? It's always being careful. Because the creative hat, the green one, is really crazy. So it needs the black hat sometimes to hold it down and, hey, be careful, okay? So when we work on a project, we wear the hats one after the other, and we get the color of the hat, the way of thinking, like green hat thinking, red hat thinking, black hat thinking. Okay, so we did 3 colors so far. Green, red, and black. The white one, it's white. Come on. You're being sarcastic. Yeah. Positive side. Okay. Okay, clarity. Being open to ideas. What else? Okay, that's basically it. We have to be very positive. Okay? We have to think about the hats, and when we get to the white hat, we have to say like, that's the good side of it. This is how we can move on. We think this is very good. We think this is a great idea. So all of us, when we brainstorm, we use this tool. It brings down the time of brainstorming. Instead of sitting hours and hours and hours, we just like wear the same hat and talk. By wearing the same hat is thinking together in the same way, in parallel. Okay? I'm going to finish with the hats and talk about parallel thinking. Okay? When we get to the blue hat, what is the blue hat? That's difficult now, the blue hat. Oh, let me see, I don't know. Okay? The blue hat. Nobody? That's nice. What else? We have one person wearing the blue hat. Careful. In a brainstorming session, when you're creating something, you cannot tell the other, you are a black hat thinker or you are a green hat thinker. No. The hat and the way we think, this is symbolic, but the way we think does not define us. Because the same person who is thinking, having a red hat thinking, can be having a black hat thinking and a white hat thinking and all that. We're just going to put them all together in parallel to think together and reach something. The blue hat is very factual. It's about facts. It puts together, it states the obvious. This is what we have. This is where we want to go. So it begins and ends the session. It's the moderator somehow of the session. Okay? And the yellow hat. What do you think about the yellow hat? Nobody. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we have the white and the yellow that are somehow similar. The difference between the white and the yellow is very positive. The white is positive, but the white is like a computer. It doesn't take anybody's side. It's good, it's fine, it's okay, but we don't take sides. They don't go more into pushing for the black hat thinking or push. Your hair is still great, by the way. Okay, so we spoke about the 6 hats, and we spoke about a way of dealing with the 6 hats. And we said when we wear one hat, we think in parallel. Okay? So, we're going to talk about parallel thinking. And we're going to talk about how to think in parallel. One of the ways of working with the 6 hats is, let's say we're thinking about the creative side. We've been thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and we couldn't get something really important. What do? We simply switch hats. Exactly. We change. We go somewhere else. There's always a way of doing it. We always say, instead of digging the same hole deeper and deeper and deeper and not reaching anywhere, maybe you could dig a hole somewhere else. So you start thinking in a totally different way and a totally parallel way, and it would help you, because if you stick to the idea, if you stick to the problem and you're not going anywhere, just leave it. Go somewhere else. It helps your brain to think in parallel. It helps you to move forward. It minimizes the time of creating a format. It minimizes the time you spend, so you could go and do some other stuff as well. Okay? So, parallel thinking. We talked about the argument and the alternatives of an argument. What is an argument? What is the argument? Can you all see this one here, the board? Okay. Yeah. Argument is when you have 2 people facing each other and talking, and each person wants to prove that the other person is wrong. Okay? That's the argument. What else is an argument? Difference of opinions. What if both of them are right? What if both of them, they have a point, but they will never agree because they are arguing? Okay? So what's the different way of dealing with a problem? Is parallel thinking. Okay? Parallel thinking it goes, of course, like this. Okay? We're wearing the green hat together, wearing the red hat together. When you get into parallel thinking, it's the opposite of argument. It's if I'm in a conversation, and this also applies to everything, not only while we create a format. If we're dealing with one person and this person is really stubborn and we want to convince this person, instead of telling him no, but this, no, but we go like, yes, and we can do this. Yes, and we can do that. Okay? So, the argument, as it's defined, it's a traditional argument is where each side takes a different position and then they seek to attack the other side. Okay? Each side seeks to prove that the other side is wrong. This is the type of thinking established by the Greek. You know the Greek gang? The three? Okay. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. The parallel thinking is both sides or all parties, they're thinking together in the same way. Parallel thinking is the ability to think in parallel, the ability to think differently. Some people say outside the box. Think outside the box. We're going to go through some examples, okay? Some riddles of parallel thinking. I'm going to give you a riddle now, and you will be telling me what do you think about it, okay? The police broke into a house, okay? The police, they broke into a house. And they found the owner slumped dead in a chair with a bullet hole in his head. There's a bullet hole, he was shot in his head. On the floor, there's a gun. And on the table, there's a cassette recorder. Okay? So the police gets in. The guy is dead, he's got a bullet in his head. There is a cassette recorder on the table. On the floor, there's a gun. When an officer pushed play on the cassette, they heard the message, "I cannot go on any longer," and have decided to commit suicide. Followed by the sound of a gunshot. The police immediately started the murder investigation. Why? We're going to say this again. They arrived, the guy is shot in the head, the gun is on the floor, there's a cassette recorder. When they press play, they hear the person saying, "I can't go on anymore. I decided to commit suicide," and he kills himself. How did they know that it's a murder? Quickly, come on. Yes.
If he suicide with himself, he cannot rewind the tape.
Exactly. Okay. There's another example of parallel thinking. This is the way you think, because any regular person, when they go in and they hear this, oh, okay, he shot himself, he's dead. That's it, it's done. The way of thinking in a different way, always think of a parallel way. Where is the trick here? How can we think in a different way? Even if it's crazy, even if people would go like, "Are you out of your mind?" Yes, I am. This is why I'm being creative. Okay? If we want to talk about something else. After passing her driving test, Emma was on her way home feeling extremely pleased. She did her driving test. She's driving home. She's on her way home. She was very happy that she passed her driving test. And she was on the street and she went the wrong way up one street and straight over a zebra crossing. All right? Her driving examiner and a police officer saw her, but they didn't stop her or say anything. Why? After passing her test, she was very happy. On her way home, she took the street in the opposite way. She passed over a zebra crossing. Yes. Okay? So that's a small example. She was walking. She wasn't driving. When we first talk about this, everybody first would think like she was driving. How many of you thought that she was driving? Imagined her driving? What? At the beginning? Okay. Immediately we're trained to think what everybody would think. That's what we want to change. We have to think in a different way. Okay? There's a very famous example about the power of lateral thinking. It's called the tale of two pebbles. Do you know the story? The tale of two pebbles. Okay. Tell me if you're bored. We can change to something else. We can switch. We can do some exercise as well. You would be thinking, we can create something. All right. The tale of two pebbles. Many years ago in an Indian village, okay, there was a farmer. He had the misfortune of owing a large sum of money to a village moneylender. The moneylender, who was old and ugly, he fancied the farmer's beautiful daughter. So he proposed a bargain. Okay? The farmer owed money, and the owner, he proposed a bargain for the money. He said he would forgo the farmer's debt if he could marry his daughter. Both the farmer and the daughter went crazy, and no way, we're not going to let you marry this ugly man. So the farmer, he suggested that let Providence decide the matter. It's a very famous example of lateral thinking. It's called the tale of two pebbles. So he decided, let luck decide. So he told them he would put a black pebble and a white pebble into an empty money bag. Then the girl would have to pick one pebble from the bag. If it's the white one, she goes free and he doesn't owe anything to the moneylender. If it's black, he will have to marry her. Okay? So, if she picked the black pebble, she would become his wife. The white one, everything would be okay. They were standing on a pebble path in a farmer's field. As they talked, the moneylender bent over to pick the two pebbles, and he picked up two black pebbles without anybody noticing. The girl, she noticed. The girl noticed that the moneylender is picking up two black pebbles. He put them in the bag, and the girl had to choose. Okay? What do you think the girl would do in this situation to save herself? Again, they were standing on a pebble path, and she had to choose the white pebble to be free, or the black pebble, she will be married to the guy. And the guy has put two black pebbles in the bag. We have half a minute to think about this. Hey, how are you? Good? Sorry?
Take one and throw it away somewhere, and let him take the other one. So if he takes out the black, she would tell, I had the white one.
Okay.
Both of them up at the same time. So expose him, basically.
Both of them, okay. She can't do that. I mean, he's the moneylender. He'll put them in trouble. She cannot face him. His idea was to pick one pebble, throw it somewhere. Hold it in her hand. Okay. What she did is the following. Yes, she picked up a pebble and she got really confused and the pebble fell on the floor and it was like a pebble path. And she was like, oh, sorry, it fell out of my hand. But anyway, we will look at the bag. If the black pebble is inside, then it means I picked up the white pebble. All right? So this is a very famous example of lateral thinking, of thinking in a different way. We were giving examples now. You missed it, but it's fine. So thinking in a different way always helps. It helps us coming out from a situation that is quite difficult. Okay? So what really happened is the girl was a person who is thinking in parallel. Can you give me an example about parallel thinking? Somebody. Okay. A pilot. He did a, well, I'm coming out with something. It's somewhere on the internet. It's not my idea. I'm not that bright. So a pilot was in the plane, landed, and at night they were on an overnight somewhere, and the people on the flight were in the same hotel, and the pilot was there, and they saw the pilot, full makeup, skirt, high heels, and the next day they're going back with this pilot. What was the reaction? The people, they have no reaction. Why? Exactly, it's a woman. Who thought it was a woman? Did you all think it was a man? Okay. So we always think how we are trained to think. Very few people think differently. Some people are more trained than others. So parallel thinking is a way of thinking differently. We're going to talk again about the hats, okay? Let's create a format. Let's steal a format. Edward de Bono. He is the creator of lateral thinking. You can search him online. Not me, definitely. Can somebody give me just a line to start with? Anything. Okay. Low budget. What else? Fun. Sorry? Wow. Low budget, high expectations. Sorry? No time? What do you mean with no time? Ah, okay. So it's a short deadline, you mean? Okay. Excuse me? Yeah, still. Well, it's fine. We're working on it.
Produce more with less.
Low budget, high expectations. Okay. We like high production value, right? High productivity with less time, you mean? Ah, okay. So, well, I came up with this one. You're coming up with those, but you are going to create a format now that fits all of this. Game show. I wonder who's going to own the rights at the end of this session. What else? How long is the show? 60 minutes. Who is creating the show? Let's talk about, do we have a presenter? No? Come on. We have a presenter. Excuse me? Twist? A surprise element in the show, you mean? Okay. Sorry, I'm writing Chinese, but it's fine. Okay, so we have things that we need to follow when we create this format. Now, we want to create a game show that is 60 minutes with a presenter that is low budget. We don't have time to create it. And it should be fun. And we cannot do miracles. So we have to be stuck to this. All right? Let's have some black hat thinking. We were talking about black hat, just for the people who just joined. The black hat is always thinking about what if this problem happens, what if that we face this problem and how to deal with it. Okay? We'll see where we put this now. You all remember what you decided here, okay? We'll come back. We'll come back to it. I'm gonna put it here. So we have the elements. Let's create the show. Who is the presenter? Male. Okay. Okay, we're gonna stop here and think about black hat thinking. Okay? Let's come up with black hat thinking. Tell me what are your ideas about this show. No, about all the elements now. We have to create a show that has all the elements. It's low budget, high expectation, no time, 60 minutes, fun, all of this, and we cannot do miracles, as I said. So what are you afraid of? Just sorry, because...
Maybe we have to decide male or female after decide contents of game show.
That could work, but we're stuck. That's what the network wants, or that's what we're stuck with. Okay? So the black hat thinking, what are we afraid of with all of this? What are our fears in creating such a show? Who's going to watch it? Your target audience. Okay, is there some fear about your target audience? But we said it has to be fun. It has to be, it's a game show. So the people, the audience will not know the hell we've been stuck in to get it on TV. So, the fears. Somebody said something about the fears.
Game show and low budget.
It's scary. Oh, okay. Well, what are our fears? It's a game show and it's a male. It's 60 minutes. Oh, we need to talk about the territory a little bit. It would help as well. Okay, what's the territory? Let's go to Saudi Arabia. Okay? Versus what country? Sweden. Sorry? Yeah, well, we have a male. We have to have a male in KSA. Okay, but this is not black hat thinking. Trust me. Okay. What are our fears in creating such a show, whether it's for KSA or whether it's for Sweden? For Sweden, I would think if I want to have a black hat thinking, a male game show, 60 minutes, my target audience, he has to be really, really good and really entertaining. So being entertaining is exactly being expensive. And the lady over here said no budget. She's not paying us any money now to produce. So we have a problem now. He has to be a male and he has to be very good. So we have to pay him a lot of money. Okay? So we have one opportunity here to deal with. For Sweden, black hat thinking. We're not talking about many negativities of the show. We're talking about just a couple each. Sweden.
Has anything similar been done before?
Anything, we have to ask the question if anything similar have been done, has been done before. But where does this apply? If you're thinking, if you're wearing the black hat, you're thinking, you're having some black hat thinking, how would you put this?
I'm comparing it with the other picture.
Sorry, I'll be with you in a second. Sorry?
I'm just trying to think if it has anything similar to this been done before. So I'm comparing the game shows in each country.
Yes, but I don't know the elements of the game show yet. We didn't say it's a show where people pick up cards and choose this and choose that, so I can compare it. I have some elements, and I'm thinking whether I should go with the show, I should work on producing something like that or not. Sorry, you were saying?
No, that's exactly what I was saying. What if it doesn't work? Because game shows in general doesn't work in Sweden very well.
Okay, you're from Sweden? Okay, all right. To start with, a game show doesn't work well in Sweden, let's say.
You need to find the elements of the show that actually will make you spend less.
Less money. Okay.
Build
the opposite way, the different way. So we have to start the different way and choosing the elements. Assuming that the elements that we have the elements, and those elements are a regular budget. We're not stuck with the money, but it might be boring for one of those countries. Okay? If it's a 60 minutes, what's the black hat thinking here? Too long? How many episodes? How much should I shoot in a day because I have a limited budget? Okay. So we're having some black hat thinking. If we switch to the green hat thinking, which is the creative hat, okay? Again, this tool is to help cut down the time when we work on something, okay? Green hat thinking, 60 minutes, low budget, entertaining, fun, game show, male presenter, and all that. What are my advantages? No advantages? Okay. You're all green. It's not like you're wearing a green hat. It's like so creative.
That shouldn't be a studio show. We should make it like no studio show. Yeah, that should make. They should be like a street magic, like reality, something made on streets.
Okay, so if we go into set, it's going to cost a lot of money. So we have to be outside. That's one point. We want to be different. We want to be creative in this.
Let's bring to it a charity purpose, so that everyone who will be involved in the show would volunteer without having to pay him any money. I mean, the presenter, the studios, everything. So the program would be produced to support a charity, for example.
Okay, that's if we think if we think about it, it's more of a red hat thinking. It's not much of a green hat thinking because it touches us. Oh my God, they came for free. They're so sweet. They're adorable. They're not going to be paid, and they're doing all of this for the charity purpose. So the people would go, and we invite people like, I don't know, people who are in need, or we give prizes to.
You can bring celebrities for free. I mean, if you have a charity purpose behind this program, why not?
This is now some green hat thinking. Another thing, I really need something new in this show. Let's bring a cow to the set and put a cow in the middle of the set. See, when we're stuck, we don't have ideas. We just go somewhere else, totally somewhere else. Okay? What we're doing now is like giving an example of how to train our brains. Okay? Let's get a cow on the set and work with the cow now. Okay? We have here a cow. Whatever, but it's a cow. Okay? This is how we create ideas. Don't be afraid of going to the edges, okay, to the extremes. We have a cow on set. We have a cow on the street because it's a street show, we said. How do we use her? How do we use the cow? You paint the cow. And what would you do with the animal rescue and all this? Organic paint. We organically paint the cow. So we have a painted cow in a game show. What are we doing? What are we going to do with the cow? The presenter is riding the cow. Well, yes, why not? Sorry? No, we're going somewhere here with this. We're having fun, yes, but we're going towards something now. Sorry? Mobile studio? Okay, so the creative side was bring a cow and do the charity thing and do it on the street like street magic. Amusement park. Does it have a tail? All right. The tail is the mic. Okay. Sorry? Held by the presenter who's here. Okay. So, this turns to be a kids show somehow. Do you think it's a kids show? Are we working on a kids show or are we working on a regular game show? Kids show. But we didn't define at the beginning if it's a kids show or not. We just came up with a format now for kids. Okay? What about the yellow hat? Yellow hat thinking. We said the yellow hat is the positive. Okay? What are the advantages of such a show? Kids will like cows. Okay, so we teach the kids to love the cows more. Okay, because half of their food is like get money from milk producers, sponsors. Okay. So we get sponsors. Okay, that's a very positive thing. What else? So we talked green, red, black, yellow. So the facts are, the blue hat thinking is the facts, right? What do we have? We have a show that is for kids, 60 minutes, that will not cost money, easily produced. Is it easily produced? Did we talk about this? Are we dealing with kids? With kids, it's hard to produce, especially if we produce not in the Middle East. If you produce anywhere else, you have people responsible for the kids. The kids need to work for a specific amount of hours. They need to rest and all that. And they have to be in good mood when they're on camera. So it's very difficult. Okay? Do we have kids? The presenter is a male presenter. Okay. So, this is to tell you that when we use the 6 hats and we create a format, we can come up with ideas that are really quick and that could help us solve a problem. Okay? If you want a break of 5 minutes, that's 1 hour past already. We're going to stop for 3 minutes for whoever wants to. We'll be here. It's 3 o'clock, 3:05 maximum. We'll meet again. Okay? Thank you.